pizza time.
Hello, everybody. I'm back. Now, I'm in the same sweater as my Morbius review video because it's the same day. I had some time and I just wanted to record everything. I'm a little more energetic about this one because I kind of got some of those I don't know. It's not stage fright because I'm not on a stage, but little nerves. Kind of got those out because I've recorded one already. And this topic I've been excited about for years, and I've bothered all my friends. Sorry, I'm getting a call. Hello. Don't you love it when the spam calls hang up on you? Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, I've wanted to talk about this for years since Crimes of Grindelwald came out, and I've bothered all my friends with it, and now it's your turn. You get to deal with this. So this is not a review about of Crimes of Grindelwald. That will be a video on its own. For the sake of this video, for right now, we are going to not ignore, but set aside Crimes of Grindelwald not being everyone's favorite movie, the Johnny Depp related stuff, the current Ezra Miller related stuff, and the J.K. Rowling stuff. All of which are things I would like to make videos on discussing, because, it's not great. But what I want to talk about is just the stuff in world, like the fun magical side of it, just for today. And with Secrets of Dumbledore coming up, I can no longer I can't drag my feet on it anymore, because if I'm right, if my theory on this is right, it's gonna be in this next movie, and I got to get it out there before the movie comes out. Otherwise, people will think that I didn't think of it. I'm rambling. I have to talk about it before the movie comes out, so that if I'm right, you heard it here first. Like, anyone's gonna see this before the movie comes out. But anyway, here we go. So, I personally enjoyed the movie a lot more than I think a lot of people did, which is fair. Like I said, we'll talk about that later, or some other time. But one theory I have, first of all, is that Queenie is not actually on Grindelwald's side anymore. And this has been discussed before. This is not a theory that I've made up. Like, I thought of it, but I also agree with what the internet has said. It's very possible that she's under the Imperious Curse due to Grindelwald. It's why that I need to now interject. I feel, and well, first of all, more evidence to support this, I believe, is we have the one story by Yusuf talking about his mother being under the Imperious Curse due to the Lestrange guy, and that might have been foreshadowing. But I also think, and I've not seen this pointed out anywhere, this movie features reflections a lot. Because we see when Queenie first meets Grindelwald, it's in a room with dual mirrors and it's reflections everywhere. We see Dumbledore looking in the mirror of Erised, and reflections there. At the end of the movie, we have Fox on one end and Nagini on the other, and they're both like classic movie cinematography. The protagonists are moving one way across the screen, the villains are moving the other way. It's like there's reflections everywhere, and I don't think that is limited to just our main group of protagonists and antagonists. If you think about how the movie ends with Queenie leaving to join Grindelwald, she goes, you watch the fire and Jacob is there and all this stuff, but it directly possibly parallels the beginning of the movie. When Jacob and Queenie come into the film, Jacob is under a spell and Queenie isn't. I think at the end of the movie, when they are leaving the place they're in, the crypt or whatever, Queenie is under a spell and Jacob isn't. And that for me is the biggest piece of evidence, I suppose, pointing to Queenie being under the Imperious Curse and not being there of her own volition. And I think another thing to support that is she wants to do. They make it sound like she wants to do these things, join Grindelwald, be on his side, so that she can be with Jacob. And then in that moment, he doesn't even, he wants no part of it. And then she leaves anyway. So like, what's the point? Like, you as a character, you've lost your motivation to do this. This could be due to poor writing, but we'll see. I agree with the fan theories that she's under the Imperious Curse, and that's like one of the big theories there. But my other part of this, which is like other people have discussed these bits that I'm about to discuss, but the reason as well now, going back to why Grindelwald has Queenie or wants Queenie on his side. And again, it's like the reflections. We have Newt on one end, who is tending to magical creatures and helping them and nurturing them, and he gets help from them and gets the benefit from the magical abilities that these creatures have that he doesn't, like the Zowu, like Pickett, like the Niffler. I think that they're doing the exact same thing with Grindelwald, but he's not nurturing and helping. He is abusing and manipulating, because we see that it's been confirmed, and we see in the movie that Grindelwald is a seer like Trelawney. He has visions of the future. He can see into the future. And then we see he has Mr. Abernathy, who shapeshifts several times in the movie. It's been speculated that he might be a Metamorph Magus, because we see him shapeshifting without the help of Polyjuice Potion or any explicitly said incantations. And it's very possible that it is just Polyjuice Potion or some sort of spell. However, when we see him and the French lady, I don't remember her name, she's on Grindelwald's side, we see them break into the French Ministry of Magic, and we see Abernathy shapeshifting. But there's no reason for one to be there, because she could do this all by herself, and there was no reason to show us that he can shapeshift unless there is a reason to show us that he can shapeshift, which is just to point out that he inherently has the ability to shapeshift. And what I'm getting at here is I think Grindelwald is collecting wizards and witches with abilities that cannot be easily replicated, thus giving him an edge. He himself is a seer. He finds Queenie, who's a legitimist, and he's using her to help understand and manipulate Creedence. He's after Creedence, who has or is an obscurial, and it's got that edge, that ability, the only thing that might be able to kill Dumbledore. And maybe he has now Abernathy because he can shapeshift. He can do that on his own. And I know that there's not a lot to support that. It's a shaky theory, but I think it's possible that's what they're going for. And again, it's Newt and Grindelwald reflecting each other in different ways. They're I don't know, like, they're not two sides of the same coin, unless that coin's like the two-faced coin, where like one side is horrible and twisted and the other is nurturing and helpful. But I think it's possible that's what he's doing, and I think it's an interesting idea, because I just think it's cool. It's this idea of there being, shall we say, mutants in the Harry Potter world has always been exciting, and this guy kind of collecting these different abilities and using them for himself. It's gross, it's evil, it's awful, but it's an intriguing idea. So that's that theory. Now this is the big one. I saved it for last, and I love it. And I've not seen it anywhere. I gotta sit up straight. I got horrible posture. I've not seen this one on the internet anywhere. If you've seen it somewhere else, link it, comment it, something, because I'm only gonna take credit for it if it's truly something I thought of on my own, because like I said, I've not seen it anywhere else. Here's the thing. The big thing about Crimes of Grindelwald at the end was that found out that Creedence Barebone was actually Aurelius Dumbledore. There's been a lot all over the internet, really good videos pointing out why it's very possible that Grindelwald is just lying. There's other things pointing out how it's possible that maybe he is a Dumbledore, maybe he's a cousin or a half sibling or something. I think the prevailing theory that makes the most sense for a lot of people is that the obscurial in Creedence is actually the same obscurial from Dumbledore's sister. So that's how when when Grindelwald is addressing Creedence and saying that your brother is trying to kill you, he's addressing the Obscurial. Now, the only thing that makes this theory possible, like the only piece of evidence that we are given in the movie, is the whole Phoenix thing. The fact that a Dumbledore is in trouble, therefore the Phoenix is there to help. That's what younger Dumbledore says to Newt earlier in the film, that a Phoenix will come to any Dumbledore who is in dire need. And Grindelwald says the same thing to Creedence in the end, to prove it to him that he is a Dumbledore. See, like, look, the Phoenix is here. It's here for you. I don't think it's there for him. I think, and I truly believe this. Shit, sorry. I truly believe this. The Phoenix is there for Grindelwald because he and Albus got married. We already know that they have a relationship, and it's been talked about a lot. And some people are crazy about it. Some people are indifferent to it. I think that magic acknowledges the bond between people and the combining of families, the combining of a name maybe you take on. I think that Dumbledore and Grindelwald got married and decided to take the Dumbledore name. Therefore, Gellert Grindelwald counts as a Dumbledore, and the Phoenix is there for him because the world is starting to build more there's more resistance for him, and people are rallying for him but also against him. So he is the one who's in trouble. And I know what some people are going to say. Creedence had Fawkes for a great deal of the movie. Like, it was already with him. However, my counter to that is the first scene that we see of Creedence with Fawkes is in that little attic thing in Paris. And the scene right after that is Creedence and Nagini talking to Grindelwald because Grindelwald came to them. That means that Grindelwald knew where they were, and he could have planted the bird the whole time. I just think that Grindelwald had the bird at first, and he was using it as a way to get to Creedence, to convince Creedence. And that's basically it. I think they're married. I think that he's a Dumbledore. Now, this might tick off some people when we go and see the next movie, because it means that the big twist wasn't actually the big twist. The big twist of the last movie was hollow because we still don't know who Creedence is, and this, that, or the other. So it's very, very unlikely that I'm right, because it makes that revelation completely weightless. So it's very unlikely. But I don't know. I think it'll be weird if Creedence actually is somehow Dumbledore's little brother. The Obscurial thing is probably the real one. But gosh darn it, I think I'm onto something. I think there's a chance. There's a chance that they're married. Fawkes is there for Grindelwald, and we still don't know who Creedence is. End of rant. Yeah. So that's all I got for this one. I wanted to get that out there before the movie came out. I had to talk about it. I had to scream it out there to the world. I don't know. People might think it's ridiculous. They might think that makes no sense at all. And for all I know, I'm missing a piece or two for it to really make sense. I watched a lot of really good theory videos last week, and more of them are better researched and such. But I'm just here to talk. But if you agree, if you think there's potential that I'm right, let me know in the comments. One or two people who see this, And like I said last time, there's not a whole lot on here yet, so I'm not going to push any kind of subscription thing. But anyone who does subscribe, you generate a little drawing in a great big banner that I'm doing. So, we get 10 subscribers, there's going to be 10 little drawings. And if we get 100 subscribers, there's going to be 100 little drawings. And hopefully it'll be really cool, like a fun art project that we're kind of doing together. But yeah, and have no doubt that I will be doing a video on the secrets of Dumbledore, because I'm very excited. I am aware and acknowledge all the crap things going on, both within and without this franchise. But as far as these characters and like the stuff in the world, I'm still invested. I still like it. I find him very intriguing. That is Newt and his journey here. So I'll see you next time on that video when we talk about Dumbledore again. So have a good day.
Pizza time.